What is VR exactly? A bluffer's guide. Here at Me It's the Future, we're determined to keep an eye on the latest innovations, job opportunities, learning resources, and hottest companies in the field of AR and VR. But what if you're just starting out on your journey of discovery in this area? What if you'd like to dip your toes in the water, but you need a rundown on the basic before you start? Here's our bluffer's guide to VR. What is it? Let's start with the really simple basics here. Virtual reality allows the user to be fully immersed in a stimulated environment, usually via various types of head-mounted hardware. This hardware tracks a person's movements and creates a full-scope field of vision, making it a very reactive experience. Most VR experiences grant the user some form of control via handheld implements. This form of haptic feedback can also extend to technology like omnidirectional treadmills that allow for greater physical locomotion. Where did it come from? In terms of a mere concept, no one really knows. Art in Renaissance Europe utilised perspective to create convincing depictions of spaces that did not exist. While in the 1860s, French dramatist Antonin Artaud exclaimed that spectators at a play should suspend disbelief and regard the drama on stage as reality. Both are arguably early forms of the notion. In terms of a more technology-based VR, well, no one really knows either. A machine called the Sensorama, developed in 1962, allowed short films to be displayed to a user while engaging multiple senses: sight, sound, smell, and touch. And the first head-mounted display system for use in immersive simulations was developed by Ivan Sutherland in the University of Utah in 1968. Remarkably, however, the term virtual reality didn't become popularized until it was used in The Judas Mandala, a 1982 novel by sci-fi author Damien Broderick. What is it used for? Where do we even start? We've got a whole series of videos that take a deeper dive into this subject. But in a very tight nutshell, VR has been used since the 1970s in some form or other. For medical, flight simulation, automobile industry design, and military training purposes. It remains big business, and it's only getting bigger. Consumer VR, however, mainly in the gaming and entertainment sectors, has had a rockier road to ubiquity. Since 1988's Autodesk Cyberspace project, attempts at affordable home VR have been met with indifference. Consumer titans like Nintendo and Sega even threw their hats into the ring and failed. Yet, the 2010s saw a rise of new consumer technology, starting with the Oculus Rift, meaning that home VR is now a very viable prospect indeed. What's the future? Well, yet again, we've got a whole series of videos on this very topic. The future of VR is too exciting and varied to be contained here. So check out some of our other content. How do I get a job in VR? If you're looking to forge a career in the VR revolution, there are a few things you need to consider. Firstly, there's your skill set. If you want to get involved with the technical side of VR, you're going to need education, training and experience designing and developing with 3D modeling software, programming experience with C to C+ game development, and/or graphics programming. You've also got to know the market. Figuring out which companies are hiring is vital, and not as easy as it sounds. The big names like Microsoft, Oculus, and Facebook might be your go-to choices, sure, but they represent as little as 2% of the job market. Finally, you'll also need to polish up your networking skills. Good examples of networking groups include Silicon Valley Virtual Reality, which organises monthly meetups for developers and entrepreneurs, and the IEEE Virtual Reality Conference has been going strong for over 20 years. But if you really want the up-to-the-minute lowdown on career opportunities, courses to study and job openings, stay connected with Me is the Future, your resource hub for all of this and more. Leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and share.